welcome to another edition of Fantasy Bout Hour, the channel dedicated to bringing you fantasy matchups on a regular basis. If there's a particular matchup that you want me to cover, please leave it in the comment section, and I promise to honor your request. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit that bell notification. The fight that I'll be bringing to you in this video comes by way of request, and this is coming from Stephen McBroom. I thank you for your request, and I thank you for participating in the channel. The fight that he mentioned is between two great legends of two different eras. And this is between Floyd Money Mayweather and Salvador Sanchez. Let's start off with Salvador Sanchez. I'm just in awe when I watch this guy fight. His most notable fights was against Azuma Nelson and Wilfredo Gomez. And Salvador was just explosive. He was a great pressure fighter. He had great timing, and he was fan friendly. And he fought in a great era. The 1980s was a great era for boxing. Sanchez was just a very entertaining fighter. Of course, he had an early demise, unfortunately, but I just thank him for what he brought to boxing. He was very enjoyable to watch. Moving on to Floyd Money Mayweather. We know that Floyd's technical abilities was like no other. And as far as I'm concerned, he's the greatest defensive fighter in the history of boxing. The shoulder roll, the footwork, the counter punching, the pull counter, to be exact. I could go on and on about Floyd Money Mayweather. And of course, he's those fighters that he's that fighter that most fans love to hate. But there's no arguing against his greatness. Whether you love him, whether you hate him, it is what it is. Now, as far as what differentiates these two, Salvador Sanchez was a great fighter, great warrior, explosive fighter, blood and guts fighter. He had great timing. He knew how to land his punches, very accurate with his punches. But I would say that Sanchez was a rhythm fighter. He got in a rhythm. He was very bouncy, very energetic, had great stamina, and he would just outlast you. But what makes Floyd Money Mayweather great is that Floyd doesn't necessarily fight in a rhythm, and he said this himself. He fights in such a way to where he disrupts his opponent's rhythm, to where if they're in a rhythm, bouncing, this and that, he throws his little pot shots to disrupt that rhythm. So Floyd Money Mayweather's, one of his successes, or one of his best weapons or attributes, is his timing. Floyd Money Mayweather had the greatest timing. So a fighter who's used to throwing flurries, who's used to throwing volume punches. Anyone who fights Floyd Money Mayweather, their punch output drops because of his defense, because of his timing, because of his elusiveness. So if you go back and watch the Manny Pacquiao fight, we're used to Manny Pacquiao moving in and out, throwing his flurries, displaying great hand speed, getting in and out. But he wasn't able to do that against Floyd Money Mayweather because of that timing, because of that jab, because of his countering abilities. So those are the things that made Floyd Money Mayweather great. And that's the reason he's undefeated, in my opinion. So as great as Salvador Sanchez is, or was, styles makes fights. And I truly feel that his punch output would drop against Floyd Money Mayweather, and Floyd Money Mayweather would know how to time him. And of course, it would be a great mistake, or a big mistake, for Floyd Money Mayweather to go punch for punch with Sanchez. Don't get into exchanges and don't trade with Sanchez. But if Floyd fought his fight and fought the perfect fight, moving around and clinching when necessary. I believe that he would have the edge. But Floyd would just simply have to fight his fight to win. Of course, when Sanchez was fighting, not a lot of guys, was utilizing defense, was utilizing shoulder rolls, pull counters, and all this. They were basically going to war. Which made it a great decade. But Floyd's skills, Floyd's ring IQ wins this fight for him by decision. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next video.